Hello everyone. In this session we are going to go over the offer loop, how the offer loop is used, how it's created, and the whole process that it entails. An offer loop is basically just a buyer's loop that is tied to your listing loop. And in this scenario we are going to use is a co-broker. So there's going to be a co-broker involved from another brokerage putting an offer in on your listing. Something that I want to tell you about before we get started that every real estate associate should have is a MyFax account. That way you are receiving any fax that any brokerage or anyone for that matter sends you to your email. Goes to your email as an attachment. Anytime someone faxes something to you, goes to your email as an attachment. You can save it, makes it a lot easier on you. You can upload it to the loop. I think it's only like $6 a month, but it's well worth it. So here's the contact information. You can also go to myfax.com, contact Christine. Something else that I want to show you. If you you log into your My Transactions account and then you go up here to where it says My Documents. There's all kinds of documents in here. Click on the Office Documents tab. There's a lot of stuff in here, but if you go down to the MyFax folder, there is a brochure and the contact information that I just gave you. So all you have to do is click Download, and it's going to open that. Just gives you a little bit of information, or you can go to myfax.com. Okay, so offer loop. The first thing the question is how do we usually receive offers? In this part of the country, the buyer controls the contract, correct? And so usually it's going to be received via fax or email, scanned and emailed to you. Or the worst way it can be received is if they drop it off at the office, it's in legal forms and they don't send it to you. And so if they do that, that's very old school, that's going to be annoying, but you're going to have to reduce that in the copier to letter size and then scan it to yourself and then upload it to the loop. And so that's the worst way you can do it. I assume a lot of people aren't doing that now because that's just very, very, it's not user-friendly whatsoever. So let's do an example here. So we've got a listing loop. I'm just going to go to an example listing loop. And we're going to get an offer. And in this scenario, there's a co-broker involved. They control the contract, so we're going to receive the contract. Okay? The way we're going to receive this is they're going to fax it to us. And it comes to my fax account, and then I've saved it to my computer. So let's just pick a listing loop here. Let's pick this one right here. Okay, so you click on your listing loop and then you come to a crossroads here where it says View Original Listing Loop Summary or View Individual Offers. There's no offer yet, but we have received one and we need to put it in the loop. So we're going to simply click Create Offer Loop. I would leave the loop name the same property address. It's up to you if you want to change that, but I would definitely leave it that way. I'm going to click Save and Continue. And now we have a totally separate loop from our listing. Now we've received this contract as an attachment, so we're going to have to upload it as an attachment to send to our clients. Now if you don't want to send it to your clients to get it electronically signed, you would print it. However you get it signed, you just need to get it back into the loop. I hope that makes sense. In this situation, we are going to have our client electronically sign the contract. And so we're in this offer loop and we're going to click Add an Attachment because we have the contract already on our computer. It came in via MyFax. We saved it on our computer. So click Browse and then just find the contract. I'm going to go to my desktop. Makes it a lot easier. And I've already contract training. I've already saved it on here and I'm just going to name it contract. Now this is going to require a little bit of creativity on your part. I need you to make believe that this is already filled out and signed by the buyer's agent on the other side. So the next step is to add signatures. So we're going to click Add Signatures. It's going to load the document and bring the document up. And we are going to go through it and find where our clients need to sign. Now if it's a Najjar contract, it's not going to be fun because then you're going to have to drag signature. You're going to have to drag multiple initial boxes. This is an example of our contract, so I'm just going to drag signature. You may have two people signing. In this one there's just going to be one. You simply go up to where it says sign, drag the signature down to where your seller needs to sign, hover your listing client, find their name, click on their name, then click Save and Continue. Would you like to sign now? This is a contract, so we don't need to sign. Then it's going to ask you to send it to your client, and yes, we want to send it to our client. So we're going to click there, and we're going to say, here's the contract, or whatever you'd like to say. And we're going to click Send. So it's going to send that to our client. So the client's going to, they're already a part of dotloop because they have a listing loop that they've already been attached to. So let's see what it looks like on the other side when the client receives it. This is what it looks like. And for training purposes, the name of this client is Chaz. And here's the additional comments. We're going to right click on this because I can't open it in the same browser. We're going to open it and see what it looks like. So when your client clicks, this is what's going to come up. Now there's different scenarios. If your client is not if your client does not feel comfortable signing electronically, there's a lot of different scenarios. You can meet with them, you can print it. Here the client can print it if they want, or they can log in. See, it says log in, not register, because this person has already logged in before. I can't remember the email address of this person, so we're not going to worry about that part of it. And you've seen this in prior trainings where they go through, there's a video, and they click and sign. And so we don't really need to do that now. So let's go back to our loop. And what we have done is uploaded the contract, drug signatures for our client, and we have sent it to our client. Let's look at a loop. Let me back up. Something that I would highly recommend once you get it uploaded and signed by your clients is to click on the contract itself and allow your buying agent and your buying client to view it. Click Save. Then click Skip. We don't need to send it to anyone. Then come over here to Manage Agents, and then click on Invite Buying Agent. That way they can view the documents and send it to their clients to view as well. And it sends them an invitation. It makes the process easier as well. That's up to you if you want to do that. I would highly recommend it so they can be a part of the process. And that's it. So now you have an offer loop that is tied to the listing loop. And so this is the negotiation process. Notice there are no interactive forms up here because it started with the buyer's agent. It was sent to us and we uploaded it to the loop. So what will be in this loop for the future will be anything that has to do with this transaction. It might be the inspection report, attorney letters. Let me show you an example. Let's go back to show you what this loop looks like. Okay, so if you click over here, it'll go to your listing loop with your listing client, And here's the offer loop with the new offer that came in. Offer, contract, they call it an offer. You could have as many offer loops as you want on this one listing, which is great. So what I want to do is show you an example of a real-time listing loop, offer loop attached to a listing loop. Okay, here's a good example. So this is a listing, and then here is the offer loop. And it's an attachment world because the buyer's agent controls everything. So here's an example. You've got your attorney letters as they come in, and you've got your final attorney letter out of review. You've got your contract. Let's look at the contract. I want to show you what that looks like. Because remember how it came in. It came in from the buyer's agent. And so our clients have digitally signed. We uploaded it. Her client, the buyer's agent's clients had already signed. We uploaded it and then sent it to our clients, and then they signed. So that's what it should look like. This is what an offer loop. See down here, you've got the signatures. You've got a digital, initials and digital initials. See here? More signatures. So this is a great example of what an offer loop will look like. And the last thing that you'll upload in an offer loop will be the HUD-1. Once you get the HUD-1 in there, you're good to go. Now, when do you submit for review? When the contract is in there signed by all parties. Then you would go up here to additional options and click submit for review and click next. That allows the office to know that they need to review it and that there's a contract, and they'll change the status to whatever needs to be changed to. Okay, so that's how you create an offer loop that's tied to your listing loop when you have a co-broker involved. Stay tuned for more trainings that have to do with dual agency. That's the next one we're going to tackle. Thanks for your time and have a wonderful afternoon.